I really did not want to go to the gym today. I kind of forced myself to go. Had a shit sleep last night. Woke up really late. It's been a slow day. But let's go and do something. I'm probably gonna feel better. I had my pre-workout, so hopefully that should wake me up. I don't really like having pre-workout very often because you get used to it. And if you have a pre-workout every day or every gym session, you'll get used to it, and then on the days that you don't have it, you're gonna feel like shit. So I kind of reserve the pre-workout for leg days only. And today is leg day. So those leg days, like, I kind of feel I need a bit more push. I need a little bit more kind of focus, motivation, concentration, whatever. So whatever help I can get, I take it. If you think about it, actually, pre-workout, the main ingredient in pre-workout is caffeine, right? If you look at the back of any pre-workout, read the ingredients, it'll be like caffeine would be listed as the biggest ingredient. I mean, it does have other stuff as well, like beta-alanine and arginine and stuff like that, but for the most part, it's the caffeine that's the main thing. And you can just get that from coffee or something. So I do have a coffee before I go to the gym. That's every day, more or less. I would have like a shot of black coffee. So you can do that. It's just that, or unless you can find a pre-workout that just has coffee in it, then I guess that's okay. I think 2 to 3 cups of black coffee a day is not bad for you. Especially, if you want to lose a bit of fat and stuff like that, it's actually good for that too. But there is a threshold. So if you have any more than like 400 grams a day of caffeine, then it kind of increases your stress hormones and you will start gaining weight, because stress is a killer and it kind of increases stress, cortisol and stuff like that. So if you want to have coffee for, weight loss or whatever, or reap the benefits of it, try to limit it for 2 or 3 cups a day. 1 cup will give you around about 70 to 80 grams of coffee or caffeine. So, try to limit that to around 300 grams of caffeine per day. And if you look at most pre-workouts, they actually have, I think, 200 or 300 grams in 1 scoop. So that's like 3 cups of coffee right there. So yeah. So we'll do some legs. Start with squats, and then either do RDLs or leg curls. I think I did leg curls, I did RDLs last time, so I might just do leg curls this time, just to kind of get a bit of variation. So let's hope we have a good leg day. It's always very satisfying to have a nice leg day done. And then tomorrow I could either take it off or go back and do chest. So my training, I kind of do, it takes me around 4 to 5 days to get my full body workout done in a week. So my camera is not. It's because I'm in my car, so I don't really have a tripod right now. So it takes me around like 4 to 5 days to get my workout done. I think 4 days is what, if I can get 4 days, then I'm good to go. 5, great. And 4 days, so the way I do it is I would do, so I combine like a push with a pull movement. So for example, if I'm doing my chest, then I will do biceps or something. So anything that I'm pushing, so if I'm doing chest, I'm doing bench press, I'm doing, inclines or whatever, I'm pushing the weight. And when you're doing that, let's say you're doing like bench press, you're already not only using your chest, of course, but you're already using your triceps and a bit of shoulders, like front of the shoulders as well, to push that weight, right? And then I see a lot of people doing like chest and triceps. I don't agree with that because, in my opinion, if you're already doing your triceps when you're doing your chest, they're already going to be like pre-exhausted. And you're not going to be able to put the full effort into the tricep training later on. So let's say I did my chest, I did 10 sets, whatever, and then I went on to do triceps. I will already be tired doing chest. My triceps will already be exhausted, at least 50% exhausted, and I won't be able to get the full kind of benefit. I won't be able to give it my all, right? So what I instead do, I do chest and biceps. So a push and a pull movement. You could even do like chest and back, but that's a lot of work because you'll be in the gym for a while then, because if you're doing your back properly, then that's 4 to 5 exercises. Then on top of that, then you're going to do your chest for 3 or 4 exercises. So that's a lot of work, too much volume. So I recommend is doing your chest, and then you can do your biceps. And because you're not training your biceps when you're doing your chest, your biceps will be like fresh. They won't be tired or anything, so you can kind of hit them with full force. And the same thing when I do my back, I do my triceps. Because if you think about it, when you do your back, you're already kind of using your biceps already, because pulling any kind of weight is going to involve your bicep to a certain extent. So then your biceps are tired. And if you do biceps on top of that, you're just overtraining your biceps. So do chest and biceps, back and triceps. And that's pretty much, your chest and arms done in 2 days, right? Then on the third day, I do my shoulders and calves. And if you look at it, I do my shoulders after doing back. I don't do like chest and biceps and then do shoulders, because if you think about it, I've already done shoulders on my chest day. So I want to give them a bit of rest. At least I've done my front shoulders, front delts. So I want to give them a bit of rest. So 1 day rest while I do my back, then I hit my shoulders and calves. And then I do my legs. And that's 4 days of training. And that's about it. Like, that's my training done for 4 days. Now, usually I would take a day in between. So if I do chest and then I do back the next day, then the third day I would take rest. If I'm feeling good, then I would go, but usually I'd take a rest in between. I'd take a day, go do my shoulders, and then go do my back, do my legs. So it's kind of find it hard to do 4 days in a row. It just gets too much. So that's that. Try that, and this, like, I tried many different forms of training. When I started out, I used to do chest and back, but I was finding that it was just too much to do, too much work. Because I'm doing like 4 exercises for the chest. It takes me an hour and a half. Then I'm doing my back for another hour and a half, and yeah, it's just too much. So I kind of split the days. So see what works for you. Experiment with different things, and then you can kind of build a customized plan for yourself. This takes time. It takes experience and trial and error. So I guess when you're starting out, you kind of want to stick to just the basics. So do your chest, do your at least do your compound movements. So chest, deadlifts, squats. Even if you just do these 3 exercises for a year or so, you're going to build a nice foundation, and then you can start adding more stuff to it. Like when I started, that's what I did. I did my chest, I did deadlifts, and I did squats. Didn't do as many squats as I should have done, but you get the point. Like, you should do that, and then you can kind of add stuff in between, alter the training, and that's it. So we will get some legs done. I have an hour and a half to go. I should be all right. If I can get a good hour of working leg training, then I'm okay. Like, I get it done. Like, I do need to warm up and stuff like that, so it'll take me like 20 minutes or so to warm up before I actually hit the weights. So should be good. We'll get that done, go home, eat something. It's kind of been a slow day today, so it's not going to be very good in terms of the eating. That's another thing you need to maintain a good eating schedule. I'm sure you guys know, but you got to get that per pound of body weight, a gram of protein. So for each pound you get a gram of protein in. So if you're 150 pounds or 200 pounds or whatever, like I'm 200 or 205 or so pounds, I need to get at least 200 to 210 grams of protein a day. So that's, and to get that from I prefer getting that from food, or most of it from food, rather than getting it from like shakes and all. But today, as I didn't have many meals, I probably will have a little bit extra supplementation, as it should be. It's a supplement, not a replacement. So if you haven't got enough protein from food, then you can kind of supplement it with protein shakes, but try to get it from food. Doing a couple of warm-ups before I start getting into my working sets. Really not in the mood to do legs today. I also noticed, like my last leg workout, I was swaying too much on the right side. And that's because I think my left side hip is very sore. Well, it's more sore than my right side. So it's trying to compensate. So I'm gonna check this time, looking at the video. Hopefully it's not as bad as last time. I can still see the weight is like moving a little bit from the bar, which means I am still swinging, but not as much. Although I'm not on my full weight right now. I'm still missing a plate each side. So let's see what happens when I put those in. I did 3 sets. Well, 2 sets with 2 plates, 1 set with my regular weight, which is 3 plates each side. And let's try to push another 2 or 3 sets at least. And then we can call it a day for at least quad day. I think that was 8 or 9. So it took me around, I think, at least 5 sets. 3 medium weight and 2 heavyweight sets to kind of feel a good quad pump. Sometimes it just takes that long. There would be days where I would just do like 2 sets and I'll be feeling amazing. But then there's days like today where you feel like shit. Or I could probably also do like the Smith machine, and I could have warmed up there for like 2 or 3 sets. If I do that, I'll probably pre-exhaust my quads, and then I won't have enough energy to do squats. That's why I usually don't like doing that. I want to leave the full energy I have for proper squats. So at this stage we've done 6, maybe 7 sets. Quads are fairly pumped up. Maybe do another 1 or 2. And depending on how much time we've got left, might do like 3 sets of hams. So one more thing I actually forgot to mention earlier. You want to keep stretching your lower back. Ideally after each set, just even try to touch your toes, keeping your back straight, just to stretch out your spine. Alright, I think that's pretty much it for squats. Alright, let's do another 2 or 3 sets here
and we're pretty much done then. We've got another like 10 minutes left, so we do as much as we can. All right. We are done with legs. It wasn't the best workout I've had, but it wasn't the worst either. It's one of those days I was feeling like shit. I didn't get good sleep last night. Slept really late and woke up really late. Oops. So, didn't feel the best in the gym. But we did something. For the first 4 or 5 sets, I was not feeling good at all. But then after about 4 sets, I kind of started getting the pump and I felt a lot better. So it's all about the pump at the end of the day. I mean, at the end of the day, I kind of did my usual weight that I usually do, but even if I couldn't, that's okay. As long as you get the pump, that's the main thing. It's not about the weight. Like, usually my regular workout with squats is about 160 kgs. Between 140 and 160 for like 8 to 10 reps. But sometimes I do 100 kg and I feel the same, and I get the same pump. So that's okay. As long as you feel that you're working the muscle that you're working and you're getting a good pump, that's all that matters. We're not weightlifters. Weights are a means to an end. We're trying to build muscle using weight. So go home now, get some meat in me. Tired, hungry. So, like, I have a protein shake right after the gym, as I just did. So that's that has 2 scoops of protein in there. Yes, another thing with protein is if you can get, like, I am around 205 pounds of weight, and I'm sure you guys know the rule is get between 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. So keep it simple, a gram per pound of body weight. So if you're 200 pounds, you need 200 grams of protein per day to build muscle. So I need around 200 to 210 grams of protein per day. So ideally I would like to get all that protein from food. That's the best thing to do, is to get it all from food. But if you think about it, like, 1 large egg will give you around 6 to 7 grams of protein. So you can imagine how many eggs you'll need to have to get 200 grams. And on top of that, you're not going to get, you shouldn't get all the protein from just eggs. You want, fish, meats, beef, chicken, stuff like that. So, it's quite hard to get like, all the protein you need from food. So that is why you can take a scoop or two of protein just to get that additional protein in. That's why they're called supplements, right? They're not replacements. Supplements your diet. But I found, like, if I were to get, let's say, 200 grams of protein, just with protein shakes, or 200 grams of protein just with food, I feel much better and I look much better when I get all the protein from food, or at least most of my protein from food. So, don't rely on protein shakes. Now, of course, like a day like today, I haven't had many meals. I woke up quite late. I've only had one meal, since so far. I had a few eggs, so I've had about 90 grams of protein until now. Well, I've had 2 scoops of protein now, so that's another 50 grams. So 140 grams until now. So I'm still short 60 grams, which I will get now. I'll have another meal or two. But on a day like this, okay, you can supplement. You can have 2 or 3 scoops of protein just to kind of get your protein requirement for the day. But ideally, most of the days you should get it from food. So it's really important that every meal you have should have some amount of protein in there, at least 20-30 grams of protein per meal, and then you just have to calculate, as people say, macronutrients. So you need to know like how many grams of protein, and carbs and fats. That's your macros. How many grams of each are you getting with each meal? So like, I know each meal that I have how much protein I get, or how much carbs and how much fats I get. But more or less, I'm more kind of careful about the protein intake. I want to get enough protein at least, at least 200 grams. Now you can go a little over. You just be safe and get another 10% or something like that, just so that you don't go short on protein. You can go a little bit over, but don't go under. So you should know at least approximately how much protein you're getting with each meal that you consume. So if you're having 3, 4, 5 meals, whatever, and you get like 20, 30, 40 grams of protein with each meal, then you should be all right. Now, on rest days, you don't need as much. I'm talking about on training days, you would have, you'd aim for a gram per pound of body weight of protein. On rest days, you can have 0.5 grams, half a gram of protein per pound. So, that's all right. But at least on training days, be sure to get your protein. Somebody being stopped by the police. All right, so legs done today. Go home, chill, eat, sleep, and then I'm gonna hit chest my next session. So I'll see you guys in the next one.